Taurus Ascendant and Taurus Sun. Your August 2018. Thomas Wake, astrowake.com. Alright, we have a lot going on. And we have Uranus into your first house of personal space. So, unexpected changes and experiences and enlightenments to your very mind, body, and spiritual journey, physical, material journey as well. Finding out new things that you like and you don't like. Things changing that you have no control over and that are unexpected. And you have that making a tough opposition, rather square, to our Mars, who's going into retrograde, who's going from your 10th house. So perhaps you're not getting what you want, the recognition that you want, the esteem that you want, the accolades that you want, and perhaps even being attacked in that world. That's the extreme case. And you have Mars and that energy that wants to gain recognition and career rewards. But that's going to reverse Mars, and so that energy and that passion for that into your 9th house. It's going to make you look a little bit more spiritually, a little bit, study a little bit more, higher up, pray a little bit more, strengthen your spiritual connectedness a little bit more, and then go at the end of this month into September. Then you'll be seen and recognized for those things and go through your career charging like a freaking knight on fire. Shout out to the Knight of Wands. We have Chiron just went into your 12th house, so it being a little bit even harder to heal those things that are deep emotional wounds. Those becoming hidden, but also becoming a little bit more mystical and spiritual. And so, if you're able to heal those things before that happened, now's your chance to really be that wounded spiritual healer that's really connected to, or getting more connected to, your spiritual worlds. Okay, now we go. Your eclipse is going to be in your 4th house of your maternal relationship, how you were mothered, how you mother, how you nurture, how you're nurtured. And so perhaps you could find out that you're a mother. Perhaps you could find out something about your mother that's a little weird. Perhaps you as a mother could, something could be revealed that's a little bit weird to others. And then there's going to be miscommunications about that with Mercury in retrograde there. And your north node there is forcing you to face these things, to be courageous in how you bring out your sacred feminine, your creative powers with your emotional knowledge. Now we're going to go into your 5th house of what you're entertained by, how you entertain. Quiet! And we have the Venus. So perhaps lately we did some reorganizing, lots of hard work, perfecting ourselves, perhaps working out a lot, perhaps redecorating our house, and now, but actually liking your work environment. And then we have that moving into your work environment. Okay, now we're going to have more love about how, and more balance and harmony in your work environment. This harmony and balance that has been there with Venus has been more so with children and creative projects. Now we go into your 7th house of relationships, which is ruled by a Scorpio, but we have Jupiter there. So bringing light to taboo things that you've had hidden in your dark recesses of your psyche, being exposed, and with a beneficial light. And that's making a trine to Neptune, which is in your 11th house, how you communicate with the greater communal society, humanitarian efforts. Tauruses have a great humanitarian effort in them, especially with Uranus right now. They're really the forebearers of this Aquarius age right now, one of them, along with the Scorpio, who is your opposite, who is your shadow, but we have the light shining on that right now. Now we go to your, let's move to your 9th house, where we have your higher learning, your spirituality. We have some limitations there and some blockage there, but also asking us to really address it, and then not only address it, but bring it forward into the material world with Saturn there, and then Pluto. Pluto asking us to bring those things from the deep recesses. More scorpionic energy right now. Your shadow side. Shining a light onto that shadow side to bring it up to the light for introspection, retrospection, with this retrograde of Mars going into that house and touching on that to regroup in the material world before it goes forward into your career, how you're recognized in this world, and you're going to be able to do that with more ease and less frustration, which you may be having now for this month. In September, it's going to ease up. Now let's go to the cards to ask for help from the other side of the veil, where the majority of us is right now. Being that what we can see right now in the sensual world, Taurus, that you're in control of, the 5 senses. But there's more than just this. And this is a time asking you to look into that. But not forget the strength you have of that Taurus to get the job done. But in order to get the job done, you want to bring everything together and to be at peace with those things that are in the dark. So let's ask for a card. Who am I asking? Myself. My part of God that's behind the veil. Together with yours. Because we're all connected. And Taurus and Scorpio have a very karmic connection. I have twin sisters. My Gemini twins have a Gemini moon, which is obviously they're twins. But they have a Taurus sun, which is the opposite of mine. And the way that they came into my life was very karmic. And they've taught me very much about love and about being practical and not so lost into the mystical, occult, spiritual world, but manifesting it and making money off of it. The entrepreneur who's moving slow. This is really a card that relates to you very much, because it is a young earth. Such are you, Taurus, young earth, which is beautiful. The 5-pointed star of our 5 senses. What's the 5th one? The ethereal world, the spiritual world. That's part of the 5 that makes up the 5-pointed star of Venus, your ruler of beauty and love and sensuality. But now is the time to not get lost in the materialness of it, but to dive into the water, this emotional part of it, and don't miss out on that. And then that'll help you to create with your imagination, the sacred feminine, things that will stand the test of time. And you're here to help us, to teach us how to be patient about that. Crossing you, judgment, which is the death and the resurrection, asking you to go into your shadows and to raise up your true, authentic, childlike Leo. The sun's in Leo. This is about your child, authentic, true, courageous heart that you're not afraid to bring out there. But you have to do the emotional, psychological work before you take the stage. And when you take the stage, make sure you have it planned out. And Taurus, you do. You have so much to teach us right now. I'm running out of breath and oxygen. So we're going to go straight to the Oracle deck and ask for a final card to send us off into this month of August, where the sun loves to be. Yes, we have some challenging aspects, but we have a lot of aspects that are making that change not only bearable, but fruitive. And what card wants to speak to us? Growth. Without friction of these squares, we get no growth. When we square up on somebody, we work through a problem. So instead of lashing out and fighting and not knowing that Mars is in retrograde, not going with the think before we speak energy that Mercury in retrograde is asking us, but rather doing that well plotted out and well thought out and with an attitude of patience, what the Taurus has. Hopefully it doesn't go into laziness, but then with that square, with that friction is how we have growth, because without friction we don't have growth. So Uranus coming into your sign is going to force us to grow quicker than perhaps we want, but that's what the universe is asking us to do, is to open ourselves up consciously. And sometimes if we don't want to do that, the universe is going to make that painful. Growth. I want to expand my consciousness and awareness. Thank you. I'm the best at